What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another video. Today we are talking about JJK. We're talking about JJK season 3 that just came out, dropped 2 episodes. Or if you guys saw the movie, The Executionist, I believe that's what it's called. That basically was like a sum of these 2 episodes. Anyways, let's get to it. The first episode starts off with Yuji getting basically caught by Yuta, and then he's like fighting this spirit thing or whatever they call him. I forgot. Cursed spirits. And we're just like, what the heck is going on? You know what I mean? Then we get into this little, Yuji and Chozo talking in this church area, right? This low-key might be one of my favorite scenes in all of JJK. I think this scene is beautiful. If I can put up a picture, I'll put it up. But they're talking in this this red lighted room church. Like, it's big. It's just big open area, and it's so cinematically beautiful. It's perfect. Nothing I would have suspected or expected in a JJK anime, if anything. I want to know if it was actually in the manga. I don't know if it was or not, but if it was, I want to see what that looks like, because that could be my favorite panel in the entire show or book, or manga. But yeah, that beautiful, and the conversation that Chozo and Yuji are having, beautiful. I think that they need more of those scenes in JJK personally. It really, I think, develops the characters a lot. It makes you feel a lot more as well. I mean, obviously we saw the Shibuya incident, which if you don't feel for Yuji at that point, then I mean you're kind of a piece of shit. I mean, what? No, not at all. I'm kidding. But still, yeah, that could be one of my favorite scenes. Excluding fights, that could be one of my favorite scenes. Then we flash back a bit more to Yuji and Chozo, not flashback a bit more, but we kind of flashback a bit more from the Yuta and the Yuji thing, and then we get to Chozo and Yuji cleaning up all these cursed spirits. I think that's what they're called. I could be totally wrong, and they're basically just exercising them. They're just showing off what they've been doing for the last few months or whatever, since the Shibuya incident. And they're getting better. Chozo says Yuji's really, really fast now, and it's kind of scary or something like that. He says something like that, basically just telling him oh, he's him type of deal. You know what I mean? All right. Anyways, then we get this backstory of this, not backstory, but we get a little bit of this story of the Zenin character, which is, I think is how you say his name, is Naoya. Zenin. He's a part of the Zenin clan. He wants to become the headmaster of the Zenin clan, but obviously the person who's writing the will, or giving off the will of their dead headmaster or whatever who died, said that Toji's son, I believe, is going to become the new Zenin clan leader, basically. And he's pissed and everything like that, so he's I'm gonna go kill Megumi, basically. That's why he's out there to go look for Yuji, because he knows that Yuji is Sukuna's vessel, and then Megumi will be with Yuji. So basically that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to get to Megumi and kill him. And in doing so, he runs into Chozo and Yuji and is where is Megumi? Or where is, are you Itadori? Basically, are you Sukuna's vessel? And that's fire. And then they get into it a little bit. They start a little bit of beginning of the fighting. But then everybody stops. They say, what is that? They literally go, ugh. They go, ugh. They do that. And they're like, what is that? It's Gojo's energy, but even creepier. It was the GOAT. It was the GOAT Yuta. The GOAT Yuta's back. He came in, he said, I'm gonna make everybody's job easier. Just give me Yuji, and I'll be out of here. I just gotta kill him real quick. And Chozo devised the plan. He said, hey, you gotta make a run for it, Yuji. You ain't got really nothing for it. He said, you gotta make a run for it, basically, and I'll keep this Naoya guy off of you. You know what I mean? And so they do, and then you get Yuji and Yuta basically doing this little fighting. I don't really call it a fight, because Yuji's basically running the entire time. He doesn't actually fight back. He does try to stop Yuta's sword and everything like that, but his cursed energy is just so high and so much that he can't really do anything about it. And then the episode ends with Yuji dying from Yuta. He stabs him. So it was a pretty fire episode. I think the fight between Yuta and Yuji again was fire. I think that they did that really, really well, and obviously it left on a cliffhanger, as they were gonna do. I will say, little side note, the intro song I'm not the biggest fan of. The outro is cool as well, but maybe it'll grow on me. I'm just not the biggest fan of it right now. Anyways, back to it. Now we're going to episode 2. To me, episode 2 goes even harder than episode 1. My highlight of episode 1 is that church scene for me personally, and obviously the Yuta and Yuji like scuffle. But other than that, episode 2 is harder in my opinion. We get Chozo and the Naoe fight, and then to me, this fight is just it's peak. It's so good. It's fire. During the Chozo fight, I love the speech between how he's like, I got to be an older brother to like lead him, and how Naoya basically hates his younger brothers because he just thinks they're annoying and dumb and bad at what they do, and he's basically like saying, no, you got to lead for example. You know what I mean? You got to be that big brother. You got to be that person that really goes out and is like, you know what, I'm gonna be the example of what you need to do. Which I'm like, that's a bar. You need to do that. That's a bar. I take that to heart because I'm like, you know what I mean? Because I'm a big brother too. So like, you got to lead by example. You know what I mean? But yeah, I really liked that fight. The whole when Chozo said it's checkmate, I was like, Chozo was easily becoming one of my favorite characters at the moment because he's just cold. He's cold with it. Like his blood manipulation. I think the way they shoot his scenes, like even in the Shibuya incident when he was in the bathroom fighting Yuji, fire. In that hallway too, he's like, that was fire too. And he does a little bit something like that in this fight as well. You have to go watch it. And yeah, that was really cool. Then after that, we get a lot of exposition. But before the exposition, we get a little bit of flashback a little bit about Yuji waking up from the hospital, I think as a baby. And it's his dad and his grandpa basically talking and saying like, oh, Yuji's mom died or whatever, right? And then like she walks in and she has the marks like that Chozo does on his forehead. And I hope they explain that a bit more. Maybe that's enough to be like, they're brothers, because they did say they were brothers in Shibuya incident, but they didn't really explain it. I hope they explain it somewhat this season. And yeah, but that's what it looks like. It looks like she has the same like markings as Chozo, like right here, which is cool, right? Don't get me wrong. And you get to see his parents, which I think is a first. I don't think you ever see Yuji's parents in the first season or the second season. Then after that, it's just a bunch of exposition, basically. Yuji and Yuta are sitting by a fire and basically says, oh, I'm actually here to protect you. I wasn't actually meant to kill you. And just make it look like I killed you and everything like that, But then they go talking about the culling games and about how Megumi needs help getting his sister back. I believe her name is Tengen. I could be wrong. Maybe that's not his sister name, but there was Tengen and then there was another name that was mentioned, but I think it was Tengen. But basically, Megumi tells Yuji that, he needs his power, he needs his strength to get back his sister. And what my thoughts is I think that they go into this other room, they make it back to that class and everything like that. And they, eventually go to the scene where they kill the girl with the pistol. I don't know if you remember that from Hidden Inventory arc. That was fire. And yeah, they basically go into that. They do that, and it ends with like this guy being like, "Oh, I am here for the Sukuna vessel," or like "How are you doing, the Sukuna vessel?" The head of Zenin clan and things like that. And I'm like, this is probably the setup for the culling games. They also give a list of the culling game rules, which I'm not going to read here, but if you want to, you can go look it up. I think they're pretty much self-explanatory. And yeah, I'm interested to see where we go with this. Overall, I think that these first 2 episodes were great. I'm glad we got the first 2 and we didn't just get one and then had to wait another week for the other one, because I already saw this in theaters, which was phenomenal, by the way. But overall, yeah, I'm really happy with these 2 episodes. Can't wait for next week, because then that'll be some new JJK that I haven't seen, and yeah, I think that'll be really cool. I hope that the fights are really cool. I'm going into this blind. I haven't read the manga. I don't know any spoilers. I don't really know anything that happens except for one thing that obviously happens that I feel like everybody kind of knows, but I'm not going to spoil it here if you don't know. So yeah, I'm really excited. I hope that the fights are fire. I hope that the storyline kind of makes sense, because sometimes JJK lore can get a little bit confusing, and I had to watch it like 2 times to actually fully grasp it. But yeah, it was really cool. Really enjoyed the episode. Let me know what you guys thought about the episodes down below in the comments. And are you guys watching JJK Season 3, or are you guys not watching it? Because I know I'm watching it. That's all that matters. And yeah, it's been your boy Tone. Have a beautiful day, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace.